Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday Facebook Live book review. You're welcome. My name is Ogbueli, and I'm an inspirational reading coach and author, and co-founder of Faith Things Resources, an informal educational company that provides resources and platforms for spiritual and personal growth. So this book review live is a product of Faith Things Resources. So today we have this wonderful book to review, Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy. Okay, so wait 1 minute so that someone can come on before I begin. So stay with me. Okay, so we begin. Okay, the book we are reviewing today is Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy, the proven system of strategies and skills that will unlock your hidden powers to succeed. This is such a powerful book. This is a complete, I don't know what to call it, but Ogbueli said something. He said, this great book can be your key to success and happiness if you will only follow its powerful principles. So, I'd like to share a brief introduction of the author, Brian Tracy. This is one of my best authors when it has to do with personal development, personal achievement. I would always recommend Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy should be something like his books, his audios, his audio programs, his videos should always be, in your library if you are interested in personal growth and development. This is one author I would recommend anytime. His writings are simple, easy to read, straightforward. Even children can read Brian Tracy. I have preteens in my house, and they already read Brian Tracy because they are so easy to understand, and the ideas that he shares, they are just timeless. So in this book, I'm going to share a brief introduction of the book. Brian Tracy is one of the world's leading authorities on success and personal achievement, addressing more than 100,000 men and women each year in public and private seminars. Isn't it amazing? A maximum achievement, he gives you a powerful, proven system based on 25 years of research and practice that you can apply immediately to get better results in every area of your life. This is something I love about Brian Tracy. The ideas that he shares, they are things that you can immediately begin to apply. There are things that you can read now and just drop the book and begin to apply, and you begin to see great improvement in your life. You learn ideas, concepts, and methods used by high achieving people in every field, everywhere. These are the things you learn from this book. You learn how to unlock your individual potential for personal greatness. You will immediately become more positive, persuasive, and powerfully focused on everything you do. Many of the more than 1 million graduates of the seminar program upon which this book is based have dramatically increased their income and improved their lives in every aspect. The step-by-step blueprint for success and achievement presented in these pages includes proven principles drawn from psychology, religion, philosophy, business, economics, politics, history, and metaphysics. These ideas are combined in a fast-moving, informative series of steps that will lead you to greater success than you ever imagined possible. They can raise your self-esteem, improve your personal performance, and give you complete control over every aspect of your personal and professional life. These are the things that you're going to learn from this book. It's a big book, but it's worth every time that you spend on it. Another major reason why I love Brian Tracy is that the principles shared, they call it universal laws. The principles are universal, but when I read his books, I actually see scriptural principles everywhere. Most of the things he shares, I just see scriptures everywhere. They are biblical. Even though most times they don't give the credit to God or the Bible. But these principles that we call universal laws and all that, they are biblical principles, and it works for everyone that will put it into practice. It's just like gravity. We all know what gravity is. Even if we don't know what gravity is, if you jump from a 2-story building, you are going to fall down. That is gravity. It happens to everyone, whether you're ignorant of it or you're not. Hi, welcome, I see you. Whether you're ignorant or not, gravity is going to suck you down to the earth. That is the same thing with these principles that Brian Tracy shares in some of these success books. If you put it into practice, it will work for you. They say the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people know things and they do things that unsuccessful people do not know or do. So the law of cause and effect says that if you do those things that successful people do, if you know and do those things, you get the same results. That is cause and effect. For every effect, there is a cause. Something always happens for something else to happen. So in this book, in today's review, I'm going to share my five major takeaways from this book. There are so many takeaways. Every single page is loaded with information that can transform your life. But here are the 5 that I want to share. These are my personal takeaways. There are so many, but I'm going to share only 5. So the first one is, you must decide what success means to you. Remember that we're talking about maximum achievement, how to, accomplish everything that you've dreamed of. So you must decide what success means to you. Success means different things to different people. It means different things. Success to one person can be, getting married and having a beautiful home. Success to another person can be building a multi-million-dollar business. Success to another person can be, studying in this particular school. It can be, obtaining this certificate or this degree. So success means different things to different people. So what is your success may not be mine, and what I can define as my success may not be yours. So you have to really sit down and define what success means to you as an individual. What success means to you. This is where we can, apply the use of our imagination. How do you see your life? How do you see your future? What is your personal ideal? The personal ideal of your personal life. What do you see? What do you see in your future? What do you see yourself doing? So it differs for different people. So that's the first thing. You have to define what success means to you. That is your personal ideal life. What would it look like when you close your eyes, project 10, 20, 50 years from now, what would your life look like? Some people never sit down to really think about tomorrow, or maybe the most they think about is tomorrow. But some people never sit down to think about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, what will my life look like? That is your personal, ideal life. You just close your eyes, use your imagination, and think, whatever success, looks like for you is something that you have to program in your imagination. So for me, this year, 2021, is my year of great growth. So by the end of this year, if I'm able to accomplish, my reading plans, my program plans, my personal and spiritual development plans, then it's a great year for me. It might not be the same for you. It might just be, raising, improving yourself or growing your business to a level. And at the end of this year, that's a short-term goal. At the end of this year, if you are able to accomplish it, that is what your success is. So there is no need for comparison. If we can all define what success means to us, then you know that there is no need for comparison, because another person might be doing great things, other people might be doing other great things over there, but I don't have to be envious or jealous of them, because that is their success. And because I know what my own success is, I stay on my lane, and there is no hard feelings. Someone told me this year that her goal, what success means to her this year, is by end of this year, if she comes home and sees the family together, love, joy, the children happy, doing well in school, they're happy at home and everything, that is what success for her is. To that person, you can't compare her success with someone that is pursuing a business to raise 100 million, So you have to define what success means to you as an individual. That is my first takeaway point. The second point I have here is you must define your personal values. I can't speak enough on these personal values. You have to define it. Like, your values are those guiding principles of your life. One of the reasons we have failed relationships in every level, business, personal, family, whatever, is lack of definition of your personal values. If you don't have your values defined, it will be difficult for you to, it will be difficult for you to fit in some situations. But when you have your values defined, then you know the kind of people you attract. For instance, if you have a personal value of love and respect, and it's defined, most times we have those values and they are not defined. But when they are defined, my personal value, love and respect, it's now difficult for you to closely associate yourself with people that are so disrespectful and unloving, because your values do not agree with each other. You can't be happy being in relationships with people that defile your personal values. So once your personal value is clearly defined, it's easy for you to make the right choice in your relationship, even in the kind of people you employ in your organization. If you have integrity as a personal value and you state it, you let everybody know that this organization, integrity, excellence, respect is our core value. As people are coming in, you're sharing these values with them. If it does not align with theirs, it's easy for them to excuse themselves, and it's easy for you to dismiss the people that you speak to, and you discover that your values do not agree. So defining your personal value, it is so important. The reason why so many relationships, especially marriages, are having issues is lack of definition of personal values. You see someone that has a personal value of personal improvement, career improvement, get married to a person that does not have value for personal improvement. They have value for you have to be home, have to stay home and all that. So if a woman is driven by the value of personal and career improvement, and that person gets married to a man that is not in tune with that value, there is a problem, because each time you want to improve, someone is holding you back. And because your value is being trampled on, it affects your joy and your peace. So defining your personal value is so important. So the first one is, you have to decide what success means to you. You have to define your personal ideal. What do you want to see? How do you see your life in the next 10 years, 20 years? The second point is, you have to define your personal values. The third point here, my third takeaway point, is you have to set personal goals. Okay, so when you already know what you want your life to look like in the future, then your goals, you begin to set goals, you begin to make plans based on that. There's something that I wrote here. It said, you cannot hit a target you cannot see. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. There's a story about a child, playing outside, and the mom said, can you take this bow and arrow and shoot? And the child was like, at what? And then the mom pointed at a pawpaw tree and said, aim at that ripe pawpaw. And everything changed, because once you have a target, everything changes. You can now focus. That's one of the things that goals does for you. When you have personal goals, it gives you, your focus. You have clarity. You know exactly what you're pursuing. But when you have no idea what the target is, then, there's no focus. There's no tangible thing. Like, how would you know when you achieve it, when you don't even have it clearly stated? Imagine someone, you want to visit a friend in a city. Let's say the person lives in Abuja. A friend lives in Abuja. And then someone, takes you, flies you in a helicopter and drops you in the city of Abuja and say, find David's house. And there is no address, nothing. You will not be able to find that place. There is no way, because there is no target. So the goal is a target. The address is the target that you're focusing on. So we must have personal goals, and our goals, they have to be SMART. They have this SMART acronym. It means your goals have to be specific. You have to know exactly what you want. You're going to Jeff's house, so you have the address of Jeff. You have to be specific. If you're going to Jeff's house, you can't just have a random address. Surulere, Abuja. You have to know the province, you have to know the street, you have to know the number. That is how, smart your goal to be. It has to be specific. It has to be measurable. You can't just say, I just want to grow my business. I just want to grow my business. How big do you want to grow your business? It has to be measurable. Like, it has to be, okay, by the end of this year, I want to have a profit of 1 million naira or $1 million. Then it's measurable. When you get to 1 million, you know that you've gotten to this place. If you're in 500, you're halfway. It has to be measurable. Your goal has to be realistic. You just started a business, and your business is just 1 year old. You've not been able to make a profit of up to a million naira, and you want to have 100 million in 6 months. So it's not realistic. And when you have all those kind of big goals that are not so realistic, you get discouraged and you end up not pursuing the goals at all. And then it has to be time bound. There should be a goal. It's not going to be open-ended. So you have to say, by December the 31st, my business would have made a profit of so and so amount. So there is a time limit to it. So you're working based on the time. So that's the point. There are so many things that you find out. It's described properly in the 5th chapter of this book about goal setting. So the fourth point I have here is, you must define your self-concept. How do you see yourself? Your self-concept. is the way you see yourself. Sometimes the way people see themselves, it affects, it's not something all the time, it affects what they have around them, because success begins from the inside. Success is actually who you are, and if you are a successful person on the inside, it's easy for you to manifest it on the outside. Success begins on the inside. It's just like when you plant a seed. The seed does not grow on the surface. It goes inside. It starts the growth. The growth process begins from the inside, and then the germination and everything before you begin to see it come out. That is how success is, and that is how you're supposed to define yourself. How do you see yourself? Because the way you see yourself will also influence the way people see you. If you see yourself as, I can't do this, I'm not successful, I'm a fearful person, it affects the way you act, and it ultimately affects the way people see you. Okay, go and sit down here. Okay. All right, so we are still in the holiday season and the children are all around, so you bear with me when you hear the noise because I work from home. So finally, the last point I'm going to make here is the 7 ingredients of success. Brian Tracy shared these 7 ingredients of success. He described it as, when you're cooking, you have ingredients that you put in a food to make it, tasty and wonderful. And the proportion, to which you have these ingredients will determine how tasty the food will be. Like, if you make a wonderful food and the salt is really small, it's not significant, it might affect the taste of everything. So in these ingredients of success, these are the things, your ideal life and personal achievements. This is a combination. This is like a combination of these ingredients will really determine how your ideal life will look like, how your personal success will look like. So the first one, I'll just run through it. The first one is peace of mind. Imagine having all the money, having all the success, but you don't have peace of mind. Peace of mind is so important. It's a very vital ingredient. Now the second part is, go and sit down there. The second part is health and energy. All these ingredients are so vital in defining your overall life success. Peace of mind, health and energy. Because without your health, without your energy, if you can make all the business advancement, but you won't really have that. You won't call it like you've achieved success when your health and energy, your peace of mind is not is not great. Now the third one is loving relationships. This one happens to most people. Like, you see them, they are successful in everything, but at home they don't have peace of mind, they don't have loving relationships. So these are the things, all these mixed together is what you need. And these are the things that when you have them in fullness, you can really say that, yes, I am a successful person. The fourth one is financial freedom. Financial freedom is so important. The fifth one is worthy goals and ideals. The sixth is self-knowledge and self-awareness. This is another topic that I really love talking about, because if you understand yourself, it has to do with personal mastery. When you understand yourself, it's easy for you to flow with with the trend. It's easy for you to relate with people. It's easy for you to let go of so many things because you understand yourself. Like last week we shared a book on 5 love languages. If you know your love language, you know how you want to be loved, you know how you want people to treat you. It's easy for you to express those things, and when you're treated those way, it makes your life much more, it gives you joy, more joy. It has to do with your self-knowledge, understanding your personality, the temperament and everything. So the final one is personal fulfillment. Abraham Maslow calls it self-actualization. Self-actualization. Okay, it's okay. Allow him to sit down here. So self-actualization is, when that feeling that you get when you know that you're actually moving towards your dreams, you're actually living that life that you're designed to live. You're living a life of purpose. You're making impact. You're making contributions in life. You're adding value, not just to yourself, but to people around you. So that's the final one, the personal fulfillment. So I'm going to go over my 5 takeaway points again before I'll close this review. The first one is, you must decide what success means to you. That is so important. What success means to me is different from what it means to you. So define your own success. Define your win and stick with it. Irrespective of what's happening to other people, how successful they are. If you define your success and you are able to achieve your success, that is what matters. That's what gives you that personal fulfillment that you need. Then the second point I mentioned here was, you must define your personal values. The third one is, you must set your personal goals. The fourth point is, you must define your self-concept. How do you see yourself? Because that is, what will influence the way other people will see you. Success begins from the inside out. The final one is the 7 ingredients of success, which includes peace of mind, health and energy, loving relationships, financial freedom, worthy goals and ideals, self-knowledge and self-awareness, and personal fulfillment. So I have come to the end of today's review. I hope you got something from it. This is a wonderful book that you should read. There is no reason why you should not take advantage of the lessons, the ideas shared in all these books. Mentorship is no longer about, going to someone, sitting with that person and that person advising you. Mentorship has, moved so wide that you can be mentored by people you've never seen through their books, people you will never even meet in this life through their books. You learn the wisdom that they've learned. The principle shared in this book is based on over 25 years of research. You can just learn it in a week just by making out time to read these ideas. So reading is one of the major ways that you interact with great minds. You might feel that you don't have great people around you, but there are great books. Great people have written great books. They've shared their great ideas, things that have made them. And if we want to be great, we can take advantage of that. Take their book, something that the mistakes, the research they've done for 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, compressed in one book. We can just sit down and learn it in 1 day, 2 days, 1 hour, or a week. So till I see you next time, which is on Thursday, for our Faith book review, please keep reading, keep learning, keep growing, and keep earning. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.